In 1972, American hard rockers Ramatam released their first of two albums displaying mastery of their instruments like no other on the US rock scene. And from that first album, the track Strange Place. Reeds played by Tom Sullivan. He had been part of the Brooklyn Bridge. And now we have kind of a lurching sound that's coming in. I like that sax is just kind of chiming in there. The What a Strange Place. Don't wanna go there. Oh, just suddenly it starts blaring in after having just kind of like hinted itself. Please don't leave me all alone. I can't take anymore. For a minute, I was getting kind of a lizard type vibe, as in Casey. Please don't leave me all alone. I can't take anymore. And the vocals, I believe, are by Mike Pinera, who wrote the song, and he had been a member of Blues Image and co-wrote their big hit, Ride Captain Ride. Okay, we got two guitars going on. I really love, out of my right speaker, got this real fuzzy, dirty tone. I just love it, just like bristling, crackling. Maybe one of the earliest uses of the talk box I've heard. I love the talk box. There should be like a... Has anyone made a directory of all the appearances that instrument made? Okay, various nuances are starting to come in, and just all the different virtuosities of the band are colliding. Okay, here I just love that in the distance, that saxophone just and then that of that lead, that kind of ghostly bend of the guitar. It's coming out of my left speaker. Yeah, those two elements. I love how they're just kind of like flanking the vocals. Oh, I just love that sound. It's just so... It's such a fuzzy, squiggly type sound. And it works great with like funk rock, like stuff with like really like stuff that's like really rhythmically dense and like syncopated. Okay, now we got quite a bit of noodling right here amid that talk box. Okay, a bit more billowing from the sax, and the bass work is really getting nimble here. The bass work is by Russ Smith, and the guitar is by April Lawton. Okay, we have two guitarists actually. We have Mike Pinera and April Lawton. April Lawton plays lead. Um, Except I'm hearing two leads, so I don't know who's responsible for which tone. Is that April Lawton and that Mike Pinera, or vice versa? There's that fuzzy tone, and then there's that more wailing, kind of high fret tone. Oh god, there's just so much detail going on. Like now we have those bass runs coming in again, those sustained, fuzzy, fractious shards of guitar. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh god, I guess that's April Lawton giving us that. Yeah, I appreciate that bass, like boom, 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 boom. So crafty, so definitive, and amid that guitar, the way they collide and interact. And I love the way they're colliding on that word strange, like three vocalists, yeah, Russ Smith, Tom Sullivan, and Mike Pinera, and appreciate also that rhythmic, that drumming pattern, yeah, quite unique, and just by, it says drums by Mitchell. I that oh, it says drums by Mitch Mitchell. I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, I guess this must have been his most notable gig afterwards. I know that Noel Redding played on one of the Fat Mattress albums. They were kind of a folk rock band from the UK. And I think Noel Redding also produced the album by Ear Apparent, this Irish psychedelic band in 1969. Um, huh. Mitch Mitchell later worked with Martha Velez, English singer who also works with Bob Marley. Oh, another thing I didn't know about Mitch Mitchell. He died in Portland, Oregon. So he moved into town in 2008. Huh. Wow. God, so two very interesting things I just found out about him now. You know, the real irony with Mitch Mitchell working with Ramatam, a band that had arguably one of the best kind of, let's just say medium profile guitarists on the whole U.S. Rock scene, is that another very talented guitarist who was in kind of like a mid-profile band, Phil Keaggy in Glass Harp, supposedly had been received some accolades from Hendrix right before the legend's passing in 1970. Although the probability of that has been disputed. I kind of find it hard to believe. It must have been very close to Hendrix's passing, which in September of '70, because it just doesn't quite fit the timeline. But apparently there have been like a lot of rumors about that. Oh, just but then again, so many compliments have been attributed to him, and
On a strange place.
I was actually before I even knew that there was a Hendrix connection here. I was coming into this thinking that this band was kind of similar to Glass Harp, and that both bands had like a very talented, perhaps are two of the most talented American rock guitarists of the early 1970s that didn't really break out in, in that time.
Don't wanna go
I love the diversity of this piece. Now we're kind of we went through that really kind of like avant-garde, just dense interplay section where everyone was just, showing their their magic, and here we're in kind of like a dark, foreboding area with kind of ominous sax just cutting in at times amid the bassy environment, and I do get kind of like that. Oh, that vibe kind of say from parts of like I don't know, Poseidon, Lizard, 1970 era Crimson.
Please don't leave me all alone. I can't take any more. Please don't leave me all alone. I can't take any more.
And they all seem to be singing in unison. I think I even do hear a female voice in
Please
there.
don't
Yeah.
leave me all alone. I can't take any more. Please don't leave.
Apparently, April Lawton only had like two more credits, like almost a decade later, like on a couple of early '80s AOR albums. The 1980 album by the AOR band Spy, and yeah, they're self-titled, and the 1983 release First Stop by the band Shelter. She's credited as like a songwriter or arranger on those things, but I guess the two Ramatam albums were the only thing she played on. Ah, that sound, yeah. Oh God, that great, so much detail. Bass work, dual guitar, really fuzzy to wailing, yeah, crafty bass, that talk box wiggling its way throughout, that those sax interjections, and that great drumming by a certain someone, yeah, several notable players, accomplished individuals. This album was released on Atlantic, and well, there was just so much great music coming out at the time that some. But then I think a label like that, I think God, they should have put all of their promotion. They should have put as much promotion as they could. I don't. Yeah, I don't know when. But then again, each labels like that are putting out like I don't know what 500 albums a year. And the cover was designed by Hiroshi Morishima, who also did the cover, the visuals to the self-titled release by Elf, Ronnie James Dio's Elf. Life is Round by Compost. Some albums by Charlie Bird. Yeah. Ramsey Lewis, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Ramatam, one of the just great bands to emerge from the U.S. with a very unique sound and just a lot of talent and a lot of potential. And it's, I wish that some of these people had just gained more recognition, like with the talent they have, so, particularly April Lawton. Yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the Ramatam album, see the directory of albums from 1972. Yes, annotated, over 1,000 albums from that year. All the vast majority of them, like gem mined for like the red hot tracks, the purples. So just highlight, right click, search Google, second tab should bring up a YouTube video to just about any song that you highlight along that list. Explore 1972 and its great musical wonders at your own leisure. Yeah, it could take you years to work through just that year alone. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the song we just heard, the layers, the interplay, the sounds, the nuances, the harmonics of it all, the fractiousness, just the overall creativity, the contrast between different sections, and who had the best solos, the best licks, the best moment, the best tone, the best, yeah. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trim maximalist, signing off.